I am here, premenstrual, feeling my feelings all over the place. I had Johnny's family scream into pillows last night because I find it really effective. Johnny's mother is experiencing some physical body pain, like all sorts, like unbearable. And so I'm like, how often are we letting out these feelings? Are we screaming every day like our babies do? Our babies are going all day. And we as humans are supposed to just keep it in and be appropriate. Hi, how are you doing today? I'm very good, Donald. How are you? Donald. Not Trump. Whoa, I'm in a mood today. I think we all need to be expressing so much more than we are. I wish we could all go around and just be like, ugh, all day. And so we all got to scream in pillows. And honestly, the joy that started filling my body when Johnny's dad started screaming and Johnny started screaming, like I started getting joyful. I was like, oh, this releases energy within me just listening to you release energy. So if you need to scream into a pillow, do it. Do it daily. Don't let days go by where you're not screaming in pillows using your entire body. And if the first time you feel weird, do it 4 more times. Okay, I think I'm going to need a pillow scream pretty soon. Let me do it. I'll do a blankie scream. Hold on. That felt good. Now we can start the show. Hi, everyone. How are you? How's your week been? Has it been good? Are you taking good care of yourself, or are you eating carbs like Manon? Are you eating pizza and pasta and just saying screw it because you forgot why you're trying to take carbs out of your diet because bread has glyphosate on it and it's probably causing inflammation in the gut? But then I don't think about that because I see really awesome looking pizza in front of me and I just want what I want when I want it because I'm addicted to instant gratification, and I'm forgetting the bigger picture as to why I'm taking time away from gluten and dairy. It's a daily cycle. I know I'm not the only one that struggles with this, man. Wow. And let me just explain something that was explained to me about the female reproductive system and hormone system. Ooh, there's some cool air blowing on me now all of a sudden. Nice. It's like this. There's the luteal phase, follicular phase, ovulatory phase, and menstrual phase. 4. Just like there are 4 seasons in the year, we women go through 4 times of our cycle, and they all represent, I think, the seasons. This is what it was explained to me. I hope I get this right. But let's start with the menstrual phase. Actually, let's start with the luteal phase, which is the time before the period, because that's where I'm at right now. Okay, the time before the period. Some people experience PMS because there's a hormone drop that happens here, and all of a sudden, and it happens right after ovulating. So the luteal phase is the moment before the period. It's like fall. All right, when you're gearing up for winter, you're not quite there yet at the menstrual phase, at the bleed, you're right before. So we tend to feel a little bit more tired, maybe elevated temperature rise, just overall a little bit more irritable. And if you have, really bad PMS, then you're going to feel a lot more irritable and you're going to be crying at the drop of the hat. You're going to feel, I'll keep it to me since someone commented, you need to speak to yourself. This is cringy. And I'm like, oh my God, block. Anyway, I only need support. Okay. I'm really sensitive and I don't need no bullshit, but I appreciate all the positive feedback. So during this time, if I eat a ton of sugar, I'm going to get enraged. You know what I mean? Because sugar spikes glucose levels, which causes a crash after, which makes us feel like, we're coming off of drugs, because sugar is not far off from being a drug, right? It's a chemical that goes in our body and makes us feel things. And so we treat it like fall. We maybe do some light stretching, walking, eating foods that you would eat in the fall, more grounding foods, a little bit more carbohydrates. This is not the time to fast for women. I read a great book called Fast Like a Girl, and there are times in our cycle to fast and there are times when not to. This is crucial. So the luteal phase, the time before the period, do not fast because you're in hormone feeding. It sounds like there's an earthquake. What is happening? Is this rain coming down all of a sudden? Are they putting over a giant umbrella on the house? Because that's what it sounds like. Then you're to the bleed. The bleed starts, the menstrual phase. This is winter. This is not the time. Listen, we're all human beings. We all gotta work. We gotta go out and about and do things. And if you can schedule all your meetings not during the menstrual phase, if you can take time off of work, if you can work from home, this is the time to either be with your girlfriends or literally just hibernate in your home. This is winter, baby. This is like the most grounding foods. You can actually fast. The minute your period starts, you can start fasting. You can fast up to 72 hours. This Mindy lady says 13 to 15 hours if you can do 3 days water fast with just coffee, black coffee and water, you will hit autophagy and your skins will start replacing the negative cells will start leaving your body and your skin will start to glow. Have I made it to 72 hours? Heck no. I can barely make it to 17, but that's still a long time for little old Manny. One day I will do a 72-hour fast. I just need to not have a lot to do. I need to be able to scream into a pillow at the 24-hour mark because I feel like I will be struggling at that point. Once you get past, I think 30 hours, it starts to become easier. It's just that beginning phase. So the menstrual cycle, this is not the time to go to work and meet your friends and try to have great meetings, pitch meetings. This is the time to reflect on your emotions, to reflect on the month, to get in touch with yourself and just let yourself cry and watch shows. And then when winter's over, the period's over, we get into the follicular phase. This is spring. We're gearing up for summer. We're not quite there. We're in spring. We can start jogging. We can fast from 13 to 15 hours, but really no more than that. What else do I know about this? Salads, spring salads are good. And then we get into and we start feeling better than we did prior to that luteal phase. We start to feel pretty good. We're okay, follicular, life actually is possible. Then you get into ovulatory phase when you're ovulating, right? The egg. You're in summer, baby. This is the time to be out and about. You look in the mirror and you're oh my God, I'm glowing. Why? Because yes, the hormones are changing in our body. I didn't realize the episode would go here, but I find this so fascinating, extraordinarily helpful. And I wish I would have known about this when I was a teenager or in my 20s. I can't believe it's taken me this long to learn about it, but I also blame the world for not, teaching this in elementary school. Maybe not elementary, in middle school, when girls are starting to get their period, this would have been vital information. Hey, by the way, half of the month, you're not going to feel like you do the other half where you're feeling energized and you can go on runs and you're glowing and you're ovulating and you're manifesting and you feel good and you can eat less and you can fast here. Fasting is great when you're ovulating. Try to get that, 16 to 18 to 24-hour fast, rebalancing the gut. This is when we feel great. And then after that, it starts over and you're back to the luteal phase and then you feel like a dip. And that's normal and that's bound to happen. And when we can time our cycle and know what's coming, we can adjust and be oh, okay, it's fall right now, or it's winter. Okay, I'm not going to make that meeting with that work person. Anyway, schedule your life around your cycle, just to make it a bit easier and to take away some of that judgment that sometimes we have. Because if you're anything like me, sometimes the period will come and I'll think that life is ending. And then I'll be oh yeah, I forget about this every single month. I forget that I feel, sad right before my period every time, every single month. What is that noise? Is that rain? Is that rain? I love it when it rains. Anything's possible in the rain. I just did a video with Laura about rain, because in LA it just barely rains, but it's raining there right now. It's raining here right now. I'm up north with family, and Johnny and I went to a trampoline park that I've been wanting to go to for months. I keep pointing at it. I'm like, I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there. And now we're doing this thing where every week we go on a date. One week he takes care of the date. The next week I plan it. And I think already it's been super helpful for our romantic connection, because when you become parents, it can be kind of like dismissed and off to the side. And they say like, don't forget about your love and your romance. But it's so easy when you get so busy and you have 2 working parents and you're in your first year of, I guess we're in our second year of becoming parents. Wait, we've already become parents. We're in our second year of parenthood. And so now we have a mandatory, but not in a negative way, that like where we go on a date, and we went to a trampoline park, and it was just, we were the only adults. It's not a place for adults, it's kids. So I don't care about that. I could tell that Johnny was like, I'm a grown man, and is this weird? And it was, and it probably looked very strange because all the parents were off to the side, like eating pizza and watching their kid jump. Their kids were like 2 and 5 and 7, and I'm in my 30s, and so is Johnny, and we're jumping around, having the time of our lives. I'm like, I was just started hysterically laughing. It was so freaking fun. And I'm like, oh my God, when am I ever just actually having like fun anymore? We need to like plan time for fun, because prior to even going to the trampoline park, I was just like not in a good mood, of course, because I'm little. And I was like, is this even going to be fun? Whatever, we're just going to do it. The minute I started jumping, I started hysterically laughing and having the time of my life. And same with Johnny. And we just jumped and started sweating, and our lymphatic, lymphs were draining, because it's really good for the lymphatic system to be jumping like that. So it's a workout. We're laughing. All these kids are starting to play. We went to go play dodgeball, and these kids joined us, and they were so cute. And I got a taste of what it will feel like to be a parent to an older kid and maybe a girl one day. And it was just the best. And then afterward, I was like, do you want to play any of the arcade games? He's like, okay. And we played this like dinosaur game. And it was really fun. I really, really loved it so much. So I think it's really, really important to plan dates if you've been together, a year or 10 years, just like every week, something different, right? Like that was different. We've never done that before. And I honestly, Johnny cracks up because he's like, well, okay, $28. I'm like, well, that's the amount of a monthly membership. So I got a monthly membership because I think it's, for me, more fun than the gym, and I sweat just as much. So I'm going to actually be going later today because there's nothing to do here. So I finally found something that I like to do, and I'm going to go back. And am I a weirdo because I'm an adult jumping? Fine. It's whatever you make it. It's whatever you make it, baby. And then next week I'm taking him to a hotel, because mama needs a night away from the baby with her mans. We haven't had a night away somewhere with just us ever. Since baby's born, it's just already feeling weird in my body, but I think it's going to be really fun. It'll be in Walnut Creek, and we'll stay at a hotel and get dinner. And see, life's got to be fun. If it's not fun, then what are we doing? And in my 20s and in my teens, I prioritized fun. And lately I have not. I've prioritized work and stress. Okay. I wanted to talk a little bit more about diet and eating and food and how it affects our body, because this was really important, and it's something that I need to be reminded of. And when Johnny's mom was speaking about her physical pain, I think the last thing in her mind of what she's conditioned to know is that we are what we eat. And so I was like, does any part of you think it could be diet related? Because I had seen that she had eaten what I had eaten. We'd all went out to Italian food, had cheese and bread, and she had tomatoes and eggplant. Those are all really inflammatory foods. And so the minute she said, I'm hurting worse than ever, I'm thinking, bingo, it's because of what we ate, right? But her traditionally goes to doctors, and doctors aren't studying, to studying medication and to take care of the symptom, but not the underlying issue. And so I think it's really important to understand, what are we doing every day? We're eating. So of course it's going to affect how we feel. Most dis-eases are from diet. Like, hello. And so if I'm feeling like horrible, I have to look at like, well, what did I eat today? Right? And stress is number one. So yes, am I overly stressed? Am I meditating? Am I journaling? It's stress and diet, and that's it. Okay, fine. And maybe environment. If I'm living next to a 5G or in a moldy home, like, yeah, that's going to absolutely infiltrate and get in my way. So those are the top 3 things to look out for if you're like having symptoms of feeling sick, is environment. That also could include people, toxic people, and also internal thoughts. Like, what kind of internal thoughts are you having, right? Like, I think if you can be in a mold-free home next to the ocean with just the most loving people that make you laugh, and you yourself are being kind to yourself, and you're eating packaged foods, nothing processed, and only whole foods, I think you have a pretty good, with no stress, you have a pretty good opportunity to have a really healthy life. Now, I haven't been following that lately because I've been stressed, and the way that I guess in the past I took care of stress was snacking on cereal or chips and processed stuff. And I started the year so strong, you guys. I went 12 days with nothing in a package. Like, if I wanted something sweet, because I was off sugar, I was like an orange, an apple, and I only had whole foods. I had no gluten. I wasn't doing dairy for 12 days. And then I got really, really sick, and I just wanted comfort, and then I threw it all away. So I'd like to get back to one day at a time, letting go of the processed bullshit and get off gluten and sugar. Because I think I can feel it in my allergies are worse when I have sugar. I get more like emotional when I have sugar. I mean, all this is obvious, and we need reminding, right? So who's with me? Are y'all going to do it? Let's start today, one day at a time. We don't have to figure out the rest of our lives. We don't have to do this for 30 days. Just today, can we let go of sugar and gluten and dairy? For me, I need to let go of dairy because I've like, oh man. So I'm going to do that today because I just said it. I spoke it into existence. And anytime I think I want these things, can I pray and ask God to help remove this thought and desire? Or can I take, a journal and start writing out energetically, or scream into a pillow? Like, let's pattern interrupt our old habits, right? Because it's called breaking a habit. We just need to break the habit and do anything else other than grab the thing that we think we need. We don't need it. What do we really need? That's the question that I want to ask myself when I think I'm hungry. What do I actually need? Getting quiet and asking that part of us, what do I actually need? Usually it's like a breath and like a hug and love. Dang, it is pouring out there. I hope it's not coming too much in the sound. Anyway, I thought I'd leave you with that. I needed that. So maybe someone out there needs that. The last thing I did last week was I had an ADR session, which is a voiceover for a film I did that I hope you guys get to see. I don't know when it's coming out, but it did make it into the Miami Film Festival, which is so exciting because I haven't really gotten to act in another person's project in a while. And I'm actually acting in another film later in April. So things are picking back up. And God is guiding me, and I'm really excited for when you guys get to see the Miami film and the other film that I'm filming. Yeah. So I love you. You are enough. Thank you for watching or listening. Please share the podcast if you like it. I adore you. You're cuddly, cute. Manifestation